I am LaTonia Dean Thomas, and my dream is to become a screenwriter, preferably under the wings of one of my heroes, Tyler Perry or Shonda Rhimes, so that I can be a part of creations that speak to the human experience and expose the depth of emotion. As a sheltered adopted child of an elderly couple, I was left alone much of my childhood, and television and reading became my educators and my escapes. After the tragic death of my father, loneliness led me to read everything I could, including phone books. Over the course of my life, I was gifted with English teachers who made storytelling and poetry come alive. I truly fell in love with acting and speaking when I met my very favorite English teacher in high school, Miss Sarah Crayons. Because of a series of distractions and bad decisions, my journey to my life's task was diverted, but I continually wrote plays and skits and composed variety shows and performances in my community. After becoming a wife and a mother, my teenage son, Jordan, helped me to cope with impending empty nest syndrome and led me to pursue my calling to become a teacher. So, I made it into college at 35, encumbered by clinical depression, low self-esteem, neighborhood violence, poverty, homelessness, bankruptcy, divorce, domestic abuse, and even a mini stroke my senior year in college, while raising 3 kids and a granddaughter alone on a church musician's salary. I graduated with honors 13th in the class of 216 from Virginia Union University, and after becoming an English teacher, I endured another series of tragedies and traumas and quite a lot of therapy, and I earned an MA in English and creative writing. Though I love teaching and my students and I share mutual love, the politics and bureaucracy of teaching have reduced it from being a labor of love to just pure labor. And something in me knew that there was a second act to come, so I consulted God. And after a time, the revelation materialized. Writing was my true calling, and teaching was the apprenticeship, preparing me for my life's task. So here I am. Through these studies and the reading of Mr. Greene's book, I have discovered the following. Number one, return to your origins. I love words. I'm obsessed by their power to provoke emotion. I write about those things in life that sting, that shock, and leave a lasting impression. Situations that provoke deep thought, that bring tears, epiphanies, and sometimes laughter. It is not the notoriety that I seek, but just the satisfaction of being a rabble rouser, stirring up the triumphs, the truths, and the trips of life. Like Perry and Rhymes, I blend reality and imagination into a cauldron which releases the questions and the blessings of life into the atmosphere for us to digest and to embrace. This I want to pass on to the coming generations. 2, occupy the perfect niche. I am unique in that I look for those things to write about that are taboo, unheard of, provocative. The motor that drives me is my aversion for conformity and normalities. I thrive on shock, irony, and the anomalies of life. I'm not driven by receiving personal attention, but by the effect of my work. Number 3, avoid the false path. Before I began to reverse 35 years of my brainwashed self and dismiss others' expectation of me, I colored within the lines until I came to understand that anything that stifled my creativity, depressed me, or made me mad. So I broke the crayons, Musicianship and writing give me joy by allowing me to create my own realities, my own world. 4, let go of the past. Bored easily, I'm always excited by the nuances of life. Never complacent, I'm constantly seeking the uncharted and the next level while inspiring others to do the same. I possess a servant spirit, therefore, my only use for the past is to find growth, strength, and enlightenment from the education of those triumphs, those mistakes, hardships, and pain. As a lifelong learner and an adaptive constructivist, spontaneous abandonment of those things that seek to make me stagnant have become a saving grace. Finally, number 5, finding your way back. Much of my pain and frustration has been born in trying to prove that I'm worthy of the breath that I breathe and begging for validation. The moment I began to love myself and transcend the restraints of society, a perpetual quest to walk in my true purpose and live my life on my own terms was initiated. Battles still come, but this class and these strategies serve as confirmation that my path is clear. Teaching was meant to be a mere season in the scheme of things for me. I get that. Doubts show up periodically, whispering that my age is my enemy and that time is not on my side. I continually discard the voices from my past that scream, "You are nothing, you are nobody, you're going nowhere." But faith in my higher power reminds me that I can accomplish anything. Yeah, even sitting at a table with Shonda Rhimes and Tyler Perry. I have the power to set those wheels in motion. All 5 of these strategies resonated with me heavily because in each of them, I found both direction and confirmation. The experience and the knowledge I will gain as a writer will be the foundation to eventually lead me to founding a talent agency. Visiting urban schools and communities all over the country, I will seek out deserving young writers of color to groom, to cultivate their gifts, and to introduce them to the world of publishing and screenwriting. I envision summer camps and producing an awards program, kind of like the Emmys, that will honor young, innovative writers who dare to use their voices to stir the world's consciousness and bring about positive change. So within the next 3 weeks, I'm going to research masters within my field, contrasting and comparing their journeys closely to determine the pragmatic steps they took on their road to mastery. Secondly, I will have some conversations with my current students about their current ideologies within the culture and within their individual lives, thereby garnering ideas for stories that need to be transformed from life to art. And so, let the journey begin.